Okay, folks, welcome to Focus on Liberia. This is a continuation of our coverage for the Liberty Party USA Town Hall meeting here in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Shortly, you'll be hearing from the political leader of the opposition Liberty Party, Senator Nyomli Kankan Lawrence. I'm going back into the hall in continuation of the broadcast. If you are just joining us, this is Focus on Liberia. Hit that share button and let many Liberians get to know what is happening in Brooklyn Park.
Once if you want to call, says Angie, the cheerleader for the Liberty Party Midwest Women Wing, rather, for a brief statement and to officially launch.
Okay. Like I said previously, I remember your earlier that we're going to be doing a fundraiser here tonight. So I hope you all came ready. Because in everything, we got to spend money, right? Yes. Especially in politics. You got to support your president or your standard bearer or your senator, whoever you want them to go, whoever you want for them to go through to make Liberia better. And we can't do it just by saying we're going to make Liberia better again. Right? The Trump war, right? We're going to make America better again, right? So we're going to make Liberia better again. We want to go to Liberia and be able to walk freely again. You don't want to go to Liberia and they say you want to put your phone to your ear. Hey, bring your hand down before they call your hand. Right? I don't know if any of you are gone to Liberia lately, but you cannot hold your cell phone, especially when you get iPhone or some of those expensive phones. Even when you're sitting in the car and the window is down and you're trying to talk, they'll tell you to bring your hand down because they'll snatch your phone or call your hand. We see like Nigerians, they go back home to Nigeria and work and take pictures all night. So is Ghana. We are not different. But until we trust somebody to do the job, everybody cannot do the job. Like the pastor was saying, there is a Moses, there is a Joshua, there is somebody that God has to send. He cannot send everybody. So when God chose somebody, leadership is a gift from God. Self-made leaders are destruction. Power in the wrong hand is a mass weapon of destruction. Okay, so we are going to do it. It wouldn't take $5 to make a difference in a child's life. It wouldn't take $10 to send somebody to school. If you go to Liberia and you see children begging you for money, when you see the street that you used to walk before, just filthy, and you wonder why people dying? The diet alone can kill people. When you walk in JFK and you see the curtain on the wall, you say, amen. And we sit here and we make comments. What are they doing in Liberia? One person cannot do it. It's a joint effort. So yeah, let's put our hands together and do it for Liberia. Okay? If we spend our money, now, then your mouth is where your money is. Because your heart is where your treasure is. So my heart is in Liberia. Anything about Liberia will make me emotional. So to start, I give $100. You can cash out 612
612-601
601
6242.
6242. 612-601-6242. Cash app. Johnson, be counting the cash app for me because I gotta know. What number is it? Come on, your mission will raise the money tonight. That's what you want me to say
Thank you, says Angie, for the fundraiser. We still have $2 million Liberian dollars that we are raising also through the leadership of the Liberia Party Midwest. Okay, so we have reached to the crux. That is a very important part of this town hall meeting. And so at this time, without much ado, we will invite Mr. Haji Kroman, Chairman of the Liberty Party Midwest Chapter, to make a remark, followed by official introduction of the political leader of the Liberty Party and senior senator of Rambata County, Honorable Nyambi Kamna Lawrence.
Once again, my name is Haji Kroman. I was appointed 3 months ago to serve this position as chairperson of the Midwest chapter. Before my appointment, we had no structure here in the Midwest chapter, particularly in Minnesota. Having been a student leader and being in politics for donkey years, I was approached by one of my colleagues. He said, "Kroman, you very silent." I said, "I got married and I got children and I have to work." He said, "But Kroman, you can be silent. You have a potential that we can maximize on." So I told him, I said, I would take the approach because Liberty Party has been the foundation of my life. When I was at University of Liberia, the only person, I've been close to several stakeholders, but the only person that truly believed in me was Councillor Bronsky. And as young as I was, he called me and said, "Kroman, I'll pay you money. You come and meet me every Tuesday and just give me advice on young people. How can we recruit young people to the Liberty Party?" At that stage of my life, how can somebody trust me? A poor child like me, a man with so much education and political experience can call me and say, "Kroman, come and be my advisor." So that is all history. But today we are here. But I'm a political leader. I want to say your judgment was not wrong. Your belief in young people is not wrong. Today demonstrate that. As you can see, we will proceed and do better. We will embark on major projects. We will continue to foster the image of Liberty Party and you as a political leader. We will promote your name. We will move in every trenches, every community, every locality, every part of Monrovia to enemies to make sure that you surface at the helm of political power with trust your ability. I also want to use this medium to say thank you to the Women Wing Chair, Madam Sia, my senior advisor, Mr. Johnson, who spoke earlier here today, and the leadership of Liberty Party Midwest Chapter, the national leadership represented by Victor Zian, who also trusted me to serve in this position as chairperson. I want to say thank you to everyone, including my wife, who will remind me every day, "Haji, leave politics, but you got good leadership." That's contradiction. Leave politics, but you're a good leader. So I don't know where I will fall. Can I apply leadership without politics? So I'm confused right now. And Socrates said in one of his writings, he said, "To be and not to be." So he was in a state of confusion. So I want to say, officially, I'm going to welcome the senator. As we all know, the senator is a servant, not a leader. She's a down-to-earth political person or individual. She's a lady of high magnanimity, high colossus, high political possibility. She has the ability, and we can see that in Grand Bassa, the influence she carried it. They say when the child will be great, you can ask the parents, and they will remind you the step that child is taking. So she has demonstrated that as a leader in Grand Bassa County, the influence that she carried. When you say you're a leader, you don't do it by instruction, you do it by followers. She has so many followers in Grand Bassa County. And when we started the initiative to welcome the senator right here in Minnesota, there were nowhere we went to put the posters or flyers that anybody ever spoke negative about the senator. And I told her that. That shows how she has demonstrated a political or honorable life, that at least nobody can just speak anyhow. She grew up from a humble background. She was brought to this party, Liberty Party, to serve as a senator. She defeated a Senate Pro Tem, who was the Senate Pro Tem. You can know how powerful the lady is. She defeated him just recently in 2020 election. She was called by the late Councilor Bronsky to serve as political leader of the Liberty Party. And I work with him closely, and I know how tough he can be when it comes to making judgment on people. So to select or to make suggestion or to even think about bringing this powerful leader to serve as political leader of Liberty Party, that was something I know Councilor Bronsky would think 4-5 times before he made that decision. And he chose her to serve in that position as political leader of Liberty Party. And I want to make this very clear. She is the only political leader, and she's the only the Liberty Party that we know. She's the only Liberty Party that we know. There is no other Liberty Party that we know. So this is just an official announcement to everybody that we don't have no other political party.
So no Rehab Miami?
No. We have one single political Liberty Party called the Liberty Party. So we want to say the judgment by Councilor Bronsky has demonstrated the continuity of this party. We read history. We saw NDPL dying to door. Even the legs of other political parties have not functioned after state actors who created other parties died or they left the field of political life. That party died. She continued the legacy of Councilor Bronsky. Even in the midst of conflict, Liberty Party still remains one of the powerful political parties in Liberia. Only because Senator Lawrence has demonstrated a sense of control, leadership, and achievable, and a sense of believing in the Liberian people. So I want to say, Madam Senator, you are welcome. Can we stand up and welcome the Senator on the page? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. I'm very, very happy to be in Minnesota. It's my second time here. The first time was 2008 when I just passed through on a road trip. This time is my second time, and I'm very glad that I came this time. And there's always a time for everything. I think this is the right time for me to have come to Minnesota. First, let me appreciate and recognize the chairperson of the Unity Party, the Unity Party partisans here present. Let me recognize the COP, the BASA organizations, the KISI organizations, and all organizations here. Let me also say a big thank you and give recognition to the chairman of the Liberty Party Midwest chapter, Mr. Kroma, and his entire leadership, and especially the Women Wing Chair and all of the women who have worked to make this very successful. I'm sure a lot of us are in this hall today, not to see me, not just to listen to me, but because we all are concerned about Liberia. We have spoken all over the place, all of us, and if talking could restore our country or could help Liberia, we have the most prosperous nation. We're on social media, we're in the radio stations, we're going live, we're streaming, we're doing everything, and we still are interested in more talking. But today we're here to have a conversation, and I want for us to look beyond me as a senator and political leader. I want for us to look beyond all of our political parties. I want for us to look beyond all of our differences and talk about Liberia objectively, in a more honest way, and in a very safer manner. And I'm happy for this gathering. I'm also here to learn. I'm also here to be guided. And I'm also here to take instructions. There are few reasons why we are concerned about Liberia. And I know most of you are interested in the interaction, so I'm not going to speak long, but it's important to point out the key reasons why Liberia is close to being a failed state. We have pillars that are responsible for the governing process of every country. The pillars that are responsible for the governance process of Liberia are the executive, the legislature, the judiciary, we talk about media, we talk about civil society, elders, and even religious leaders or religious institutions. Today, all of those pillars are shaking. They're close to falling. And the legislature, the judiciary, that should be responsible for ensuring that the branches of government are accountable to one another, are the main branches that are compromised because of undue influence by the executive. Based on that, it has made it very, very difficult for us to succeed as a country. The second reason is leaders or legislators who are responsible to ensure that there's transparency and accountability and to have robust oversight are compromised, either because of greed or poverty, or they don't understand what it means to serve. Most people look at it as a job. The judiciary is the same. Most areas in the judiciary are also compromised, and they should be interpreting our laws. So it's also a problem. You have the integrity institutions. For example, the National Elections Commission is also compromised. So it's also a problem. You have the media institution, one of the pillars. Almost all of them have taken sides. And they have different agreements with either political institutions or political leaders, and they preach hate and misguided messages because they have compromised their integrity or ethics because they want to be compensated. You have civil society groups that do not stand up anymore. So people depend on few people like the COP or Costa to go there and speak out or protest. And we all look forward to that. It is a problem. You have religious leaders who are also on different sides, which makes it very difficult for you to say, I'm going to a leader or I'm going to this elder to help to guide us, because everybody have taken a side. That is those are the main issues that we have in Liberia. we're going to talk about health. If we talk about education, you talk about security, you talk about the economy, everything that's going wrong in all of those sectors come from what I just spoke about. So I would like for us to have a very honest interaction. I might not be able to answer all of your questions, but I would like for us to speak openly and talk about how we can help our country. We had a meeting yesterday with the leadership of the Liberty Party, and I said to them, this is not the time to think party. One of the main reasons why we are hurt as a country is also because of discrimination. If you are not from this party, or if you are not affiliating with a certain group of people, I don't care how qualified you are to perform, you are not given the opportunity. So you have people who are not qualified and placed in positions where they can perform only because they are connected to certain people, or they are screaming their names every day and promoting them and calling them leaders, so they think they're supposed to be compensated. You have Liberians in the diaspora who are technocrats. You have Liberians in the diaspora who are professional people, who have no interest in politics, who can help restore Liberia, but they sit back because the interactions are very toxic. So they do not want to come close to it. We need to go beyond our politicians. We need to go beyond people who hail us. We need to identify those group of Liberians and start to engage them and see how we can change our country. And in the midst of where we cannot find people with integrity, especially in the Senate, where you have maybe only 3 or 4 people talking or voting for the right reason, and the House of Representatives is worse. What you need is a leader with a vision and who will make the right decision. Because we're used to following the instructions or the vision of our leaders. So we are hoping that 2023 we can find that leader that we all can follow. How do we identify that leader? We have leaders who are trusted. Like I said to my people in Pastor, I'm your leader. I will not fail you. 2023 is the time for you to listen to me so I can guide you. So all of us who are in the diaspora, we have the responsibility to guide our people in the right direction. When we do that and we found the right leadership, we can spot the right people, whether from the diaspora or in Liberia, and put them in different places of leadership to help to serve our country. Also, we're very concerned about people who go to Liberia and serve, and we all do business as usual. One person can make a difference. And when 1 or 2 people start to make a difference in wherever area they are placed, then that will trickle down and we see people going down that direction and our country can change. So all of us have the responsibility to do that. And that's why we're here, to have such a conversation. So I will stop there and get ready for some interactions. Thank you.
Senator Lawrence there concluding her brief remarks. She will now be taking questions from the audience and she will be providing the answers. Stay tuned.
Okay, so at this time, following the political leader remarks, we'll entertain some questions. So if you have questions, you can kind of raise your hand and I'll come to you.
Yeah.
My name is Gavani Davis. Madam Kanga Lawrence, you are welcome to Minnesota. I have a very a big interest in the death of Liberians, especially those 3 missing boys, the death of Princess Cooper.
Yeah.
When Princess Cooper died, what hurt me so much that very day, the video that I saw, I knew when the government bring a Tulsi, it was going to be temporary. Because I don't like movie too much, but I love certain type of movie. I watch NCIS, I watch Chicago PD, I watch Criminal Mind, and I know what the people can do when something happens. And then when I saw the scene and the boyfriend going there, rolling almost in the blood, I said, no, it's finished. So, it pained me up to now, it's still paining me, especially the missing Liberian and the men who are being considered as someone of interest. Government is still making business with that person.
Oh, yes.
So, I don't know what is our lawmaker doing to continue to press on the thing. And I hear Liberians saying, hey, the January 6th, the people still talking about it, but you listen to CNN, you listen to the lawmaker up to now, they're still discussing January 6th. Trump. They're still discussing Trump, January 6th, up to now. Until the next election, they will still be discussing it. What is our lawmaker doing?
So we'll take one more question. No, I mean,
Good evening, Honorable Senator. I'm Javatin Soa. I have one issue that I need clarity from you. During a session, we were watching a video and something triggered out that you wasted tea water on your colleagues. Would like you to explain what triggered that emotion, and you have to do that because now you are seeking for the second office of the Republic, and to be very temperamental, you have to be, a leader should be somebody that, would be very, very, low in temperament. So I want you to explain to us what triggered that. Thank you. Thank you.
You want me to get 3?
Yeah, 30 seconds, please.
Yeah, my name is Anthony Tatosar from the Unity Party. I have 2 questions. The first question is, even though I'm a member of the Unity Party, but I'm a co-follower of the Liberty Party. Yes. There's a situation in the Liberty Party, especially with Charlie Brown's skin. Since this situation, we see that she's dangling in between. So, what are you doing to bring Charlie on your side because she has influence in the party? Question 1. Question 2 is a follow-up to the brother's question as it relates to security. After Princess Cooper autopsy report, even a blind man will know that there's a problem from the pathologist. You as senator, or what are the senators doing towards, especially someone in that profession, to give such report?
Senator Lawrence will now answer those questions.
Thank you. The issue about the missing boys and Princess Cooper. I think my statement here answer all of those questions. Answer all of those questions. To make a decision in the Senate or the House of Representatives, you got to have the votes to do so. And when this government took over, there was one action that was taken that I spoke against that led to all of the discussions we're having tonight. And that action was the unconstitutional impeachment of Kabina Jani. I said if the legislature allowed this, it's going to get worse, and everything else that will come to the legislature will be compromised. For that reason, we form a team in the Senate. We call that team Senators for Constitutional Justice. I was the chairperson for that team. Senator Comini Wisse was the vice chairperson. We were 11 who decided that we're not going to take that wrong path. When it was time to vote, we ended up with 8 members. So Kabina Jani was impeached. He went to ECOWAS court and he won the case. Now Liberia has been asked to pay him or reinstate him. So we were right. Our colleagues didn't follow. The second thing which will cover some of the questions that were asked, including the question about why did I waste tea on Kabina on Sir Joseph. First, let me clarify that tea wasn't hot. And the cup was almost empty. But that is the second reason why we are where we are today. I was a senator at that time, and I went to District 13 with Senator Darius Dillon. At that time, he wasn't a senator. I don't think he was. To campaign for the Unity Party female candidate, Cornelia Crack Cooper, Etopa. When we were en route to her campaign site, Jefferson Kochi came with his tusk and he took our cutlasses and attacked us. We were rescued by residents in the area and put in a house for almost 3 hours. People were wounded. They disrupted the entire program until Cornelia Crack did not launch her campaign. I went to the Senate and I put it on the floor. There was a call, when I talk about undue influence, there was a call that stopped the Senate from having that discussion. The second thing that happened that also led to the incident between me and Sir Joseph was the elections for Tilia Ure in District 15. Tilia Ure was in her office with her campaign team and she was attacked. The guy who was running against Tilia was above her office building in an upstairs building, and they were trunking rocks and all kinds of things on the roof. The roof got damaged. They vandalized her vehicle. Then they came down and wasted gas around the house, and they were about to put it on fire. I was at the Farmington at the retreat that was called by the president, and Tilia called in tears. Says Yondigu will die. Where are the police? They are all here and nobody can do anything. I tried to reach out to the president. I couldn't get him. I reached out to him through Senator Edwin Snow. I said the only reason why I'm reaching out to the president is because the security and the police will not take any instruction from us. I want the president to be informed about what's happening, and they should give the instruction for Telia to be rescued. That didn't happen. I had to mobilize people, because that was the district that my husband represented, to move in there to remove Telia Ewing. I went to Telia to campaign with her, and because there was so much talk about the chaos that had already happened, we had to be escorted by almost 10 armed police officers to go and campaign. How can you campaign with armed men escorting you? So I consulted with security actors, and I said to them, we have to have a hearing about this on the Senate floor. And I got all of the videos. I wrote a communication on the Senate floor. The Senate agreed for the security hearing. All of the security actors were present. And Senator Sir Joseph was presiding over the hearing. We started the conversation. I asked to play some of those video clips that we had as pieces of evidence. Let's drop the slide to play. Sir Joseph was informed not to allow that. We let it pass. When we were just about to start the interrogation, Sir Joseph got strict instruction to shut the hearing down. Sir Joseph sent a message to Henry Yala to make a motion to shut the hearing down, unprecedented, at the Senate. Henry Yala made a motion to send the hearing back to committee room, which was wrong. He got up and decided to walk away, disrespect to the Senate rule and to the senators. I had my half-empty tea cup in my hand, very angry. Even the security actors were angry. Some of them said, when you call us back here, we're not coming because they're not serious. Sir, why did you cut the hearing off? Sir, I didn't want to listen under the angle I threw the cup at him. That's what happened. And it's worse in other areas, especially when you are fighting for the right reason and you are frustrated. Even though we reconciled, I apologized, but I was pushed because we were compromising our function of oversight because we needed to do so to straighten out the security. Because we didn't do that at that point, it caused the death of the auditors, it caused the death of many other people. Many other people. If we had acted and made some decisions and made some recommendations, the security would have been forced to do something. So it caused us more harm because of that one action that Sir Joseph took. So when you compromised, when you're integrated from the beginning, and you cannot perform your oversight role, then it leads to everything else that will hurt the country. And that's why we are having this conversation today. Because we didn't guard ourselves from the beginning. We allow our colleagues to compromise. Some of them are regretting it today, but the damage is already done. The next question was about Charlene Bronsky. I don't know if Charlene told you that she's not on my side. She has not told me that she's not on my side. I hear Charlene say to everybody, I'm her sister, and she's on my side. I don't know what other side Charlene will be on, because this is Councillor Charles Bronsky's side. Because Councillor Charles Bronsky's side, the Liberty Party, is the side that will do the right thing. Charlene is a lawyer. She believes in the rule of law. She knows that when your constitution is tampered with or is altered, it's criminal. It's a criminal act. The only reason why we are still talking Liberty Party for issue for 2 years is the same undue influence and the compromised institutions that we have there, including NEC. So anybody who believes in the rule of law, including Charlene, will follow the side. I said to Charlene a few days ago when I was interviewed on the radio station in Grand Basil, they asked the same question, why wouldn't you see Charlene walking behind you? I said, I'm coming to Liberia and I'm leading a protest on the 28th. We have sent our final complaint to NEC. We have gone back to the court. Charlene is counselor at law. She does the law school. I won't see her in her gown, standing with Gloria Scott in the court with me, to plead Liberty Party case. And when I go back, I'll tell her you can see it.
Thank you, Madam Senator.
More questions from the audience here?
Again, I'm Morris Duplin Jr., Chairman of COP Minnesota Chapter. My question to you is about the collaboration, and you and I know there's a collaboration. We first had a collaboration that did not work due to certain misunderstanding. There were minor changes, harmless cosmetics, which the Liberian people did believe in. Now, this time around, we want to know what are you going to constitute to the new collaboration that will make a stand for the Liberian people to believe in, for us to take we out of power.
Please listen, we will come from this and progress towards you, okay? So don't feel that we will get you.
Thank you very much. Madam Senator, my name is Raymond Oliver Horvath. I am a Liberian living here in Minnesota. I'm a journalist by profession. Now I'd like to say I'm just seeing you since Equate's death, so have my sympathy. I have two questions for you. Actually, are you intending to run as a vice presidential candidate for the Republic of Liberia? Then I listened to your statement. Well said. You're in a compromised government. The Senate is highly compromised. I was surprised after your election to see you riding up to Bonney County with Mr. Edwin Snow, Senator, who has always been a vacillator. He vacillates from one side to the other. And you all thought you were members of the opposition. Now here Mr. Snow has turned against you. Yes, the judiciary, like you said, highly compromised. The executive runs everything. So, Madam Senator, I think the crux is on educating our people on how to vote. Because you're in the Senate, you just, Darius Dillon, Young Kanga Lawrence, Steve Zago, you people are just few. The Milton T.I.J. who said he was with the opposition is compromised. So you can't get anything done for us. We will continue to languish in poverty and destitution as Liberians. So you have to educate our people to vote wisely and correctly. How can you do that?
One more person. Excuse me? One more person.
Okay, the COP is concerned about how we want to form this collaboration. Let me tell you that we have less than 1 year to elections. We're going to come together as people with like minds, with the right vision, to go into the 2023 elections. We're not here to write any paper and framework document, all that. You believe in us, whoever you believe in, we're coming together. And in politics, you have to have strategies anytime. So we are strategizing, and in the soonest possible time, we have the best team for Liberia. And we expect all of us who want to change to support our team. The concern about our visit with Edwin Snow, Oliver, I'm very happy to see you. You know, after that election, I just said that we had a group called the Constitutional, the Senators for Constitutional Justice or whatever. So after the elections, I went after senators who were not with the ruling party, including independent senators. In fact, I immediately opened a chat room. I started a conversation. We had several meetings, and we agreed that we were going to work together. One of the things we agreed on was to go to all of the counties to have thank you ceremonies to tell those who voted for them thank you. And Edwin Snow was the first person we went with to Bombay. I said in Bombay to the people, I'm here with Edwin Snow because he has made a commitment that he will join us and he will work for Bombay in the right direction. In the Senate, he will not compromise. He will make the right decision. I trust him and I'm here. If he doesn't do that, I will come back to tell you that he's not doing the right thing and he compromised. I said that. When the elections came for another person in Bombay who went there, I said to the Bombay people, I was here, Edwin Snow didn't do what he promised. So I live up to my commitment by going back to tell them. How do we educate the people? That's one of the reasons why we are here. I just heard today that we have over 40,000 Liberians in Minnesota. We all have to educate our people because it's very difficult to tell a man in rural Liberia that Senator Lawrence or this person will be the president 2023, and if that person wins, the country will change. Especially a man who have not seen no clinic in his village since he was born, who has not seen any roads since he was born. I started my educational process 2-3 years ago, and we're doing that right now. Because we all have to get involved to open the eyes of the people and let them know that we have to make these decisions together. I went to a town hall meeting, I always tell that story. Way in rural Basel, and this old man who was over 80 years old said to me in Basel, Nyomli, all day I listen to the radio, I hear budget. Then we're done budget. I explained what it was. I said, budget is a plan, we cost, we raise the money, we build school, we build roads, we pay teachers, we pay nurses. He said, now we're a budget. I said, no, since I was born, the budget has not reached yet. So how do I tell him that the budget will reach there 2023? So we have the obligation to do that. And the only way to succeed is to get those leaders with integrity who are delivering, that the people believe in, to carry the message. Because what I say to my people, they will believe because they trust my leadership. They trust some of you or all of you who are here because you have influence over them and you will guide them right. So all of us are obligated to do so. Well, you want to know if I'm running? Nobody runs for vice president. Who runs for vice president? There's no slump for someone to run for vice president.
I said, do you intend?
Oh, well, I have to be selected. By anybody who's a who's a stand-up bearer. I have said, I'm the senator for Grand Bassa County. This is my second term, right, Oliver? I'm the political leader for Liberty Party. I'm not a banker, I'm a politician. Senator, political leader, what next is either to become the vice president or president of Liberia. I have the competence and capability. This time, I'm not going to go for the presidency because we want to collaborate to restore Liberia. So we're willing, the Liberty Party, to work with the best person, because if we split into these different portions, we're not going to get our team to win. But I can be either one of them, and I'm prepared for them. Thank you.
Hands are up here.
Let me ask my question.
A lady want to ask a question, please.
Yeah, hello everybody. I'm Mary Brown from the Liberia Party. And Madam Senator, you're my own lady, but I have a concern about the drugs business in Liberia. We have our youth, our children, and those that are in the community. When I go to Liberia every year, I see a lot of ghettos. Because I don't want for people to say, they say, you say. I go to chicken soup factory, I see a lot of ghettos around, and in my own house, I see my kids on drugs. I have to lie to them to tell them the only way you can come to America if you go to the embassy and you're out of that drugs. So appealing to you, if you go back to Liberia, as we trust you and depend on you, can you go and please see, I don't know if they signed any bill about the drugs business and local, just I think last week, how much or the quantity of drugs that they arrested in Liberia and where did it come from? You see? So that's my big concern. Our children that we depend on to be our youth tomorrow, and we leave power, what becomes of them? If all of them going to be on drugs and the ghettos going to be all around Liberia. Thank you.
Guys, please make your question short. Make your question short.
Senator, I'm Anthony here. I report for Focus on Liberia. You are in the diaspora. I want to say welcome. You spoke about diaspora Liberian. You cited a statistic about 40,000 Liberians here in. Yeah, you heard. I in Minnesota. Now, that is just one state. My question is specifically about absentee voting. My understanding is that it's constitutional. Liberians who are here are still Liberians. I know for a fact that Guineans that are in Liberia go to places like ATS to vote. That has not been done. Even our ambassadors in foreign countries, I have no knowledge of them voting outside of Liberia. This is a violation that we as a country have been carrying on for a long time. What are you going to do about that? Are we going to continue to be violators of our own constitution, denying, disenfranchising Liberians who have that constitutional right? Maybe they will vote for the candidate of your choice. What are we going to do about that?
Good evening, Madam Senator. My name is Bob Spencer Austin. I am a Liberian, live in Minnesota. I work for the General Audit Commission for 8 years. I know about accountability. You just make it clear here that you're going to be running either vice president for the best political candidate, whatever. If any of them, actually might get on board. So my question is that Buckeye and Cummins, if Cummins calls you today, if you are called by Alexander Cummins to take the second position to run as running mate to him, why will you do it? The next question is that why will you accept Cummins over Buckeye? If Buckeye call you today, why will you accept the Buckeye over Cummins for vice president role? So the both of them, which one will bring leverage that will make a positive change to our country? Thank you.
Mr. Gentleman,
Okay, my name is J.K.W. Elizana Tote, member of Corporate for Democratic Change. Good evening, Madam Senator. My name is J.K.W. Elizana Tote. K.W. That's my name. Madam Senator, you're one of the senators I admire over the years after the late General Dr. Sharif. but I have a concern. We are getting gases that, you will be going second to Joseph Walker. My concern had to do with your own Liberty Party. The parties were built by Councillor Charles Walker Bronsky. But on your watchful eyes, the parties are collapsed. Also, the CPP opposition parties, on your watchful eye, it collapsed. Why should Liberians trust you for you to be second to Vice and Joseph Walker if you cannot manage your own house, especially the Liberty Party and the CPP? Thank you.
Okay, the first question talks about drugs. Drugs, I think, is a global concern, and it's a serious issue in Liberia. In 2015, I put a bill on the floor to build a rehabilitation center in Liberia. Even President George Weah was senator at that time. He supported that bill. They've been doing the financial analysis. We have now found money to do that. Recently, the executive made a recommendation and put $1 million in the budget to deal with some of those issues. I didn't vote for that because there's no way you can put money in the budget and don't have a plan. You have no programs. We put money in the budget, they give it to a group of people. The same people that want to rescue from drugs, we distribute the money amongst them. So citizens should go and help themselves. It's wrong. No vision. You can't do that. We have fought, especially Senator Dillon, to start increasing the money in the budget for those kind of activities because he's on the committee of youth and sports, and that has been helping. What I have done a few months ago, I set up the Senator Yombi Kanga Lawrence Youth Mentoring Program because we realized that to minimize the intake of drugs comes with awareness and education. The young people are affected the most. I launched that program. I've gone to 2 counties already. In Grand Bassa County, I brought together 100 students. I got trainers and facilitators from the Ministry of Justice, from the NGO. I funded that program. We did the training, and out of the 100 students, we took 20 ambassadors. They were going to all the different schools during the devotional period to do the awareness on drugs, domestic violence, and rape. Just before I came, I went to Makibi Kakata. I did the same thing with 100 students. We have 20 ambassadors who are doing the same. So it is my way of helping while we try to do it at the House of Senate. But if you don't have a program for those things, it's not going to work. And it still covers my opening statement about having a leader with vision. So hopefully, after 2023, we have the right person with the right vision. We'll cover those things. But to my sister, we are concerned, and that's why we are helping in those directions. Voting in the diaspora, we just passed the election reform law that included that. That people from the diaspora will vote, but not for the 2023 elections. The reason why we continue to violate our constitution is because we don't have the capacity to do some of those things. So we said 2029 to give the NEC the time to put the structure and the system in place to do the awareness. And at that time, our people can start to vote. So we already did something because I voted for that. Someone asked, Alexander Cummings or Joseph Walker, where collaboration comes with trust, leadership, and vision. Wherever you find me for 2023 will be where I will see trust, leadership, and vision. And I'm not going to tell you where I'm going. Someone wanted to know my leadership with Liberty Party. Liberty Party has not collapsed. Liberty Party has no problem. Liberty Party is being affected by undue influence. Everywhere is compromised. You tell me, if we have an institution and you have someone who authored a constitution and admits that in the MOU, what will you do? The National Elections Commission is the regulatory body for political institutions. They have a regulation that says when every political party have their convention, the chairperson of the convention and the Secretary General of the convention should be the two people who should submit the convention reports. At the Liberty Party convention, Musa Belete was a candidate. Martin Kula was a candidate. The presiding officer, the chairperson of that convention, was the political leader, I. The Secretary General was Jacob Smith. We had 10 days to submit the convention report, including our constitution. If the constitution and the convention report was submitted by the wrong people or was submitted in violation of that regulation, what should happen? It should be rejected by NEC because it's a violation of the regulation. That wasn't done. And I still wrote to tell NEC that the convention chairperson, the Secretary General, did not submit that document. I've been running behind Musa Belete for over 1 month. I have messages where Musa said, I didn't know that I was the wrong person to submit it. I did that only because I wanted for it to be submitted on time. So next, send the document back to me. And we called a meeting and asked our chairperson on election affairs to do the analysis. Then we found out that 3 provisions in our constitution were changed, were altered. We wrote NEC. We want to withdraw our constitution, our document, because we realized that what you have now, there, was not what we voted for. While NEC was reviewing our letter, Musa wrote NEC to say that what you have there is the right constitution. So NEC called a conference and said, well, since Musa has countered your communication, you go and do your internal investigation and report to us. In the first place, NEC was wrong to do that because the fact that I and Jacob Smith didn't submit the convention document, that was a violation of NEC's own regulation. So they compromised that. But because we knew that they were compromised and we were sure of what we were saying, we went through our investigation. We went to Farmington and we watched a video from our convention. And Musa sat there, we watched the video, and Musa saw that, yes, we all agreed this is what was said because it's on video. So 3 of those provisions were changed. So we're not going to call anybody criminal. Let's take it as a mistake. And let's work together. So let's sign a document for the sake of the report that will go to NEC. So we did an MOU to say the provisions were changed. This is what should have been there. Musa signed, I signed. We all hugged, we took pictures. Somebody else saw it on Facebook. We left from there. The National Executive Committee that governed that entire process at Farmington sent a report to NEC and attached the MOU. Say, we have realized that yes, those provisions were changed. This is the MOU for correction. My signature on it, Musa's signature on it. We submitted it. Up to today, NEC has not acknowledged that report. For a few weeks after that report, NEC read a letter to say this person is the chairman. We didn't stop there. Musa went and had a meeting with a few people. He said he's suspending. He went and had another convention. He did a new constitution. He was having another convention to declare someone political leader. At that point, we went and went to the Justice in Chamber at the Supreme Court with a prohibition to stop the convention and solve this matter. The Justice in Chamber called a conference. She asked, Musa Belete, do you know about this MOU? Yes. You signed it? Yes. Senator Lawrence, you know about the MOU, you signed it, yes. So if you sign this MOU, that means you have agreed that provisions were changed in your constitution and you agree to change it. Why are you here? So there's no need for a writ to go into a hearing. You all go back, do the correction and resubmit because it's evident by this MOU. The Justice in Chamber asked NEC, you are just a regulator. Why are you interfering in party politics? NEC say, oh, we're not interfering. Why haven't you looked at all the reports that were sent? So we all agreed to go and resubmit. We went to resubmit. We did all the correction. We called Musa, but they didn't come. We corrected in line with what we wrote in our MOU, sent copy to the Justice in Chamber, submitted to NEC. Musa sent better information to the Justice in Chamber and submitted his own constitution where he added additional 5 provisions. One of those provisions includes the removal of the political leader October. We called the Justice in Chamber. She said, well, we got 2 constitutions, 3 constitutions we got now because Musa brought one more. Called another conference and said to us, well, y'all go tomorrow and use our library and do the correction. So we went to the Temple of Justice in the library with Musa present. And we have pictures, I think it's on Facebook too. We corrected and gave a copy to Musa. Then we went to resubmit to NEC, and I called a little meeting at the Boulevard Hotel. Musa, let's come and conclude this thing and submit it. Musa didn't come. We resubmitted to NEC as per the instruction from the Justice in Chamber. After 2-3 weeks, Musa gets on the radio to say tomorrow they will hear something. Tomorrow we heard something. NEC wrote a letter to say we should go to the Supreme Court for evidence on their decision before they can accept constitution that we submitted almost 3 weeks ago. Only because Musa said we're going to hear something. So we wrote a NEC and said the Liberty Party lawyer was there, the NEC lawyer was there, Musa lawyer was there. Why are you asking us when you have your own lawyer there? So we sent better information back to the Justice in Chamber to say NEC want you to give instruction. The Justice in Chamber said, well, it's off my hand. So if you get no instruction, then we just sit there and live in limbo. Then while that is going on, Musa go and amend CPP document with comments. Huh? So it's also a violation, so that document is not legitimate. Because the title of the political leader of the Liberty Party is not in question. And the Liberty Party has a structure that agree on those things. Now one and chairman. So that is the next issue. That is the next issue. Who's supposed to sign or amend an agreement with one chairman of a party and say you're moving on with CPP? It's another issue. So 2023 is election. We have less than 1 year to election. The Liberty Party is the second largest opposition party in the country. We control the base. It's not a question. The international partners, the government, and who want peaceful elections cannot marginalize or shut down the second largest opposition party. That's why I'm taking a petition to all of these international partners and will resubmit to NEC on the 28th of October so we can conclude on this matter.
Yeah, thank you.
This is Focus on Liberia. Anthony Cyr broadcasting live from Brooklyn Park, Minnesota.
Hey guys, excuse me.
Town hall event by the
I have been
opposition Liberty Party.
to let you know that we will entertain 5 more questions. And those, excuse me, and those questions must be short. Just ask the questions. Don't put any tail on that question. Don't add any tail to it. All right? So we start from here.
More questions from the audiences.
I'm Lawrence, and my name is Sam. Welcome to Minnesota. But I'm actually not a supporter. I didn't come here to make you feel good, comfortable. I already said it to somebody earlier. I always listen to, when I'm flipping through Facebook, I always see you and DeLon saying economic justice and war crime. I always hear you guys saying that. Don't you think the Senate and the House of Representatives, or few of you guys that in government, should be the one to go on that trial? Because as far as I'm concerned, my friend was just showing me something here. Look at Rose. Everything in my bro messed up, and you guys blaming one group of people or because for me, I don't blame one group of people. I blame you guys. You one of those for the fact that you've been in government for the past, 10 years, and you in government. You guys taking over 10,000. Yeah, I can answer the question. 10,000 and more. You guys taking. Give me chance. I earn my right here for 60. You guys taking. You guys taking 10,000 and more. As a matter of fact, you more than a million years, and they put you here to be celebrity. Don't you think you're one of those that's supposed to go on trial for something that will bring people? The whole that bring people.
Listen up, guys. Hey, excuse me. Listen, guys. Please listen. Listen. This is one thing we have among us in the States, outside of Liberia. We are very quick on demeaning our leaders, and we think we put. Listen, if you're going to ask a question, ask your question. Let me say this. If you're asking the question and you put a butt to it, I'm taking the mic away from you. Did you listen to that? If you say but, I am removing it. I am politely asking you to give me back the mic. Okay? All right? Did we get it understood? We got 4 more questions.
I'm going to come by. Your answer is here. Come back. Hello. Madam Senator, my name is Orlando from Osebe Yuloba, from Lofa County, Liberia.
Oh my God!
Yeah, go ahead.
I have concerns, and the concerns you clearly stated that if anybody select you as VP, that you'll go for it. Provided the person is trusted and committed. Given that you are in a collaboration covertly of that we are seeing it with the political leader of local county, Ambassador Joseph Imam Bokai, and Mr. Bokai also is in collaboration with other people too. And some of those people too have the same concern and the same ambition. And he has the might, as you rightly said, to choose who to run with in 2023. In the near future, if you are not selected, what will you do?
Thank you.
And the next thing is,
thank you.
I didn't say boss. I didn't say boss. I didn't say boss. My next concern is
one question each person.
We all observe the breakdown of CPP, and we know those items that break down CPP is visible and clear. And when CPP was funded, there were people who saw that CPP could not go nowhere. But 2020 by-election, midterm election, awakened the spirit, and those evil actors came in the mix. Will they come in again to split the wonderful collaboration that's going on?
Thank you.
All right, now we got only one more question.
Yeah, one more question. I'm right here. I'll be right behind
you. Senator Lawrence, my name is Mikin Satyadi, and my first time to speak anyway, but I have an important question from the House of Senate. Do you care to tell the Liberian people, since you've been senator, how many bills have you sponsored in the country? 1, 2.
One question each.
No, you have the question.
Just, this is the last question that we will entertain for tonight. Last question.
My name is David Maxwell Herman, and a strong follower of our Senator Yomde Kanga. Again, I just want to apologize because we're from Minnesota. We don't usually come to political town hall meeting to personally say I'm here to make you uncomfortable. No. We're sorry for that. And I just want to commend you for your hard work back home and keep it up. Actually, when you talk about Liberian politics, it's not theoretical, it's practical. Presently, the biggest opposition party is the Unity Party, followed by Liberty Party. Mine is not a question, but to just encourage you, lift your heads up high, keep on working for the Liberian people, and someone will continue to support you. Thank you.
Senator, my name is Archie Foba. I live in Minnesota, Liberia. And this is my first time seeing you. I'm so happy to see you. I heard the name, I haven't seen you. Well, my concern has to do with those pillows that are rocking, and if it is non-violence, Liberia will be falling. With what you said, that you need us, we are to work along with you. So, prior to working along with you, what are some of those steps that you are taking? Apparently, those pillows that are rocking, in reaching either one or two to restore that pillow from falling.
That concludes our question. Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's what.
Final question for the Q&A here.
I'm Charles Berry. I live in Minnesota. I was here and you acknowledged that there is a split in the party. So I want to know what is the Grand Bassa County that you represent as a senator? How are they responding to Musa Benedict Liberty Party and Yomdi Kangas's Lauren Liberty Party? What's the
All right.
Can we close that door, please?
Okay, we in a, let me come from the bottom. We in the Liberty Party don't believe that there's no Kanga Liberty Party and Musa Benedict Liberty Party. There's one Liberty Party. There's one political leader. There's an issue, there are several issues that we are trying to correct. Musa Benedict has said, what the pastor is a no-go zone for him. Not because they support me, but because they believe that I'm on the right path when it comes to guiding the party and the situation. So we have the support of the party. That's why we control the entire base. So it's not an issue for us. And who controls? There's a gentleman who said he was there to make me uncomfortable. I didn't feel uncomfortable by that question. I think I mentioned here that we need to educate people in Liberia. I think we also need to educate people in the diaspora. Because if you knew the functions of the branches of government, you would not ask that question. He doesn't know the function of the branches of government. That's why I would love for him to sit down so I could answer him for him to get some education. But I think we also need to educate some of our people in the diaspora so they understand the different functions. And that way you will know how to raise your concern and ask your question and induct people. There's a gentleman who is concerned about laws. You sound like somebody I know. You know, when I went to the Senate, there was a debate. I said at that debate that in the Senate, I'm going there to ensure that we have robust oversight, that our oversight responsibility are carried out properly, because there are laws in Liberia that are not being implemented. I sponsor a lot of laws. I have bills there that are in committee rooms. We can talk about that from now to tomorrow. The first thing that I did, my second week in the Senate, with my oversight responsibility, was to raise issues about health care. When I raised those issues, while we debated, we discovered that there was $13 million that was sent by EU to go in the national budget, and it was not captured. My advocacy in the Senate made Madam Salif to ensure that that money was put back in the budget. That's what you call oversight. I became a member of the Ways, Means, and Finance Committee. I advocated to put volunteer teachers on the payroll and volunteer health workers on the payroll. Because as a senator, I went to rural Grand Bassa and I saw that there were too many volunteer teachers in the government schools who are not taking pay. As we speak, I have 70 volunteer teachers on payroll that I pay personally through my foundation, because government cannot cover all those volunteer teachers. We put over 4,000 combined volunteer teachers and health workers on the payroll for my advocacy. One of the things I've been advocating for, and I oversight, don't say law, I'm telling you some of the things that we need to do in the Senate to straighten the country. We are responsible for appropriation. The budget comes to us. When we make appropriation, we send it to different directions for the country to function right. You cannot succeed with oversight if you have a budget that only comes with figure. They get $3 million to the health ministry. Nobody knows what happens at the end of the day. I have been advocating and stay advocating that will present program budget to the legislature. If you present your program for health and we give you money, We know where the money is going. And if that program includes one hospital in Grand Bassa County, that hospital not built, I will call you, and the people in my county will want to know what that hospital not built because they see the program. If you don't do that, people misuse the budget, and that's what the corruption is about. That's part of my advocacy. And plenty and many more that we can talk about. So, if you talk about performance in the Senate, we have been some of those people who have elevated the Senate and continue to fight. Even though we don't have the number, and we say it comes for vote, but because of the influence we have in the Senate and our advocacy, there are times where the entire Senate will sit down and say, we have to agree with Senator Lawrence this time, we have to agree with Darius Dillon this time, because when they speak to the public, they will speak about those issues that are wrong, and we will be exposed. One of those were recently when the election law was passed, and they were asked to dismiss all the magistrates, election magistrates. We felt that it was not good for 2023. The election commission will not have enough time to recruit and train new magistrates. They will recruit people who are not knowledgeable of the function of magistrates, and the election will end in chaos. We had to come to the table because we presented our case and educated the Senate, and that provision was removed through our advocacy. So we do more than just making laws at 3 functions. So if you follow, you will see what we've done. There's somebody who talk about the pillows racking. And what was the question?
And, let me repeat. I said, you have already given us the order that we all should work along with you in restoring those pillars. I say, you personally as senator, what have you done? What is the contribution? And maybe in reaching to all those pillars, either 1 or 2, maybe specifically either the religious or the civil society. What have you done prior to us joining you in restoring the pillars?
Well, we've done that awareness. We've done that advocacy. We've spoken about that over and over. The other day, I was on a radio station, OK, from here, talking to a journalist called Clarence Jackson. He was talking about the Liberty Party issue. This is how government works. At the legislature, we are limited to making recommendations. In the Senate, when we debate, when we do all of our have all of our hearings, at the end of the day, we can only recommend to the executive. The president has to make that decision. When you make those recommendations, and they are in the right direction, and if they are not working, the civil society groups run with those advocacies. The media run with it. It happens here in America. I had the opportunity to sit at Congress and I asked this question: how do you get the president or people who have the authority to make these decisions that is leading the country in the right direction to make those decisions? They say we have the same problems at Congress. Sometimes we get bad votes, or we get bad votes, the media, the coverage that get out with the bad votes can force the people in authority to make the decision, to make the right decision. That's why you hear people resign here when you say this person raped or did something, they don't wait to go to court, right? Because of that kind of system. So if we say all of the pillars are shaking and compromised, the only thing that can help that pillar is to have a leader who will understand the intricacies of government, who will have the vision to run with the kind of plans that will help our country. And if we all follow the right direction, then we desist from compromising. If you have somebody who will come with undue influence and lead you in the wrong direction, and because of greed or corruption or poverty we want to compromise, we'll always go in the wrong direction. So we need that leader. And you're now working with me. We have to work together if we want for Liberia to change. And that's why I said this conversation is beyond me, and every political party is about all of us. Because if Liberia remains like this, it affects all of us, not just us as leaders.
Thank you. No more you are not choosing.
Oh, okay. Well, we want a writing for Liberia. I said I will follow a leader who has a vision, who can be trusted, and who have that leadership ability. If I'm not trusted, if I'm not chosen, I will find the same kind of leader to follow and support in the interest of the country.
That's great. That's great.
Well, thank you very much. We have reached the end of this great town hall meeting. So at this time, we ask you all to help yourself with the food while we call on our brother Jubei for the vote of thanks.
Firstly, we would like to be thankful to God, and then to our political leader who accepted our request to come here, and to
So folks, bear with me as I try to bring this broadcast to an end. I have been your humble servant, Anthony Cyr, bringing you live, as you can see, from the headquarters of OLM, that is Organization of Liberians, in the great state of Minnesota. The address 7001 78th Avenue, North Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. And folks, this is how we are coming to the end of this town hall meeting, hosted here by Liberty Party USA, in welcoming their political leader, they say, Senator of Grand Bassa County, Nomble Kanga Lawrence. She made a brief remark and she took questions from the audience. It has been a wonderful interaction here at this town hall meeting organized by the Midwest chapter of the opposition Liberty Party. And I have been privileged to bring it all to you live from the great city of Brooklyn Park in the great state of Minnesota, where I actually live. And so on behalf of my team from Focus on Liberia, our dynamic leader, Dennis Child, and our many fans and contributors around the world, I'm also sincere saying to you, thank you for being part of this interaction, marking exclusively the town hall meeting intended to interact with Senator Nomble Kanga Lawrence, political leader of Liberty Party. Until I see you again, my name is Anthony Cyr, saying to you, bye-bye, and thanks for always following us here and Focus on Life.